Flickers in the Dark Episode 30, The Specter in the Glass.
The day I discovered that peculiar pendant nestled within the dusty knickknacks at a nondescript thrift shop, my life took a harrowing turn. The pendant was a peculiar trinket, an aged brass locket fashioned into the form of a tiny hand mirror. Its reflective surface was a polished obsidian gemstone that seemed to glow with an inner light, casting an uncanny allure that rendered me unable to resist its call. When I took it home, it was a curio, a trinket to be admired alongside my collection of strange and unusual artifacts. However, something sinister unfurled the night I decided to hang the pendant from the shade of my bedside lamp. Bathed in the lamp's low, warm glow, the obsidian mirror danced with twinkling stars of light, reflecting peculiar, elusive shadows that refused to adhere to the shape of my room. A ripple of unease unfurled within me, yet I dismissed it as nothing more than a spectral dance of light and shadow. That night marked the genesis of my torment. I was assaulted by nightmarish visions of an abhorrent nature, where I found myself face to face with my reflection in the locket. This reflection, though eerily similar to me, bore a horrifying alteration, its mouth stretched into a grotesque grin that seemed to eat at the peace of my soul. Despite the terror of these dreams, the pendant had woven an invisible thread that kept pulling me towards it. The horrors weren't confined to the realm of sleep. Even in my waking hours, strange happenings began to weave themselves into my life. An icy, spectral touch would often trail down my shoulder when I was alone, each touch leaving a chilling dread in its wake. More than once, I found my gaze drawn to the pendant's obsidian mirror, only to be greeted by the eerie sight of my reflection, the corners of its lips stretched into a silent smirk. It was as though it was whispering dark secrets into the silence of the room. Weeks slipped away, each day echoing with the same eerie occurrences, slowly gnawing away at the edges of my sanity. Every moment of my existence was occupied by an overwhelming urge to decipher the enigma the pendant held captive. Indistinct, whispering voices would prickle at my hearing, accompanied by swift, shapeless shadows that seemed to lurk around the mirror. A torrential storm was battering the city on the night the culmination of these sinister occurrences took place. As I stood before the pendant, locked in the hypnotic gaze of the obsidian mirror, my reflection ceased its mimicry. The malevolent grin vanished, replaced by a lifeless, vacant stare that seemed to bore into my soul. It refused to follow my movements, remaining disturbingly stationary, its eyes tracking my every move. In a fit of blind terror, I yanked the pendant from its resting place and launched it across the room. The sound of it crashing against the wall resonated with an ominous echo, and a tangible sense of dread filled the room. I'd hoped that damaging the pendant would put an end to my torment, but it felt as though I had merely released an evil presence that had been confined within. Today, the pendant lies hidden within the cobweb-laden corners of my attic, veiled by the blanket of forgotten memories. But the dread it instilled remains, lurking within every reflective surface. I avoid mirrors, fearing the resurgence of my grotesque reflection, dreading the thought of the malevolent entity that might be lying in wait within, ready to ensnare me once again under its dark influence.